Welcome to Lessons in Life and Love with Riana Milne, where we show you how to have the positive mindset for success in all life areas. It's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve.
Are you feeling down, lonely, fearful, and frustrated when it comes to dating? Have you had repetitive toxic dates and relationships, but swear it will be better next time? Well, there's a reason you keep attracting the same type of partner, which we call same person, different face. It's called childhood trauma. Now, I know what you're thinking. Your childhood was pretty normal, because that's what most people say. But research shows that 90% of us have had at least 1 to 3 of the 10 described childhood traumas. Do you want to find out what yours might be? Just go to rianamilne.com and take the 4 free love quizzes. And while you're there, download the free ebook, How to Have the Love You Deserve. That's rianamilne.com. And let's begin your journey to healing and personal transformation in life and love. If you are scammed, you certainly must contact the dating app because they will report that to authorities. And so these people will send generic messages of love, trust, sincerity in emails, and they copy and paste them. And believe me, they're working 15, 20 people at one time. So it's many, many victims to get money. And if you are engaging in something like this is a very clear sign of a lot of unhealed childhood trauma. So you must work with someone like me to get you beyond needing that type of attention because it's very damaging. Okay, flying monkeys. How many have known what a flying monkey is? It reminds me of the monkeys in Wizard of Oz flying along with the witch. And that's basically what it is. They act on behalf of the narcissist or sociopath to hurt a third party, the innocent person, for an abusive person, a smear campaign, money, or extortion, a person who acts on behalf of the socio or psychopath or a similar person. They may come up to you as a friend just to get needed information, like, where do you live? Oh, what complex is that? In what town? You know, they're trying to get information and they give it to the person that is in charge of the scam. So it's very, very dangerous if you're suspecting anything like that. And the last one we're covering tonight, there's just so much time and so many dysfunctions that I can't cover them all. But love bombing, very, very common. It's an attempt to influence a person by giving a large amount of attention or affection for a deceptive and negative person. It's often a part of a cycle of abuse. The love is fake and is a form of psychological control and manipulation. And this can happen again with women and men. Both are love bombers. I've had in my office in Delray before I went global, probably 9 very successful corporate business guys who fell for love bombing from a young international woman from another country. Then they end up marrying them. Boom, all of a sudden she's pregnant. Then there's a ton of money flying out the door. She's controlling, jealous, manipulated. I have had many, many male clients like this. So this is happening to both men and women. Women usually who are very successful, they will be love bombed, usually by a guy that does not measure up to them. They don't make the same amount of money. They are being the perfect boyfriend. And if you have not seen this series on Netflix called Dirty John, you want to make sure you see it. It is a true story of someone that love bombed, was a sociopath and a psychopath because he ends up trying to kill the woman. The kids spotted this. Kids are very good at seeing who's good and bad for their parents because they're concerned. It's a big cycle of abuse issue usually. And it's okay to be excited about the person you meet, but you want to just dole out that attention if you're healthy. Just, not be texting 10 times a day. That's a sign. Like some people say, oh, he really likes me, keeps texting and calling me 4 times a day. That would drive me crazy because I'm working all day. I can't handle that attention. And to me, that's a red flag. Okay. So if you're finding like you're flattered by that, again, that is a sign that their childhood trauma is existing, usually from growing up with abandonment, not having a lot of attention from your mom and dad. So love bombing feels good. This is also used by pimps and gang members to control their victims or by the abusive narcissist who tries to win the confidence of a victim. The signs again, there's too much constant contact in the beginning by phone calls, texts, gifts, communication in a short amount of time, and pushing for a rapid commitment or marriage from you. If you are in a coupled relationship and you're concerned about this, watch for the toxic behaviors and control. So the cycle of abuse is they idolize you. They're going to give you a ton of sex. They're going to wheel you in. They're going to, put you up on a pedestal. The men love this if they have childhood trauma. Otherwise, they're going to see this as a red flag and they're like, not for me. And then as soon as they're married, they devalue you, control you, manipulate you. I have a client where there's controls on his cars, controls on his phone. He can't see his older kids. And this is a real client who's very successful man in business. So I see this constantly. So you have to be very careful. And then they discard you when they're done with you and they repeat it and find somebody else. And usually the discard pattern happens when the healthy person has had enough. They divorce. That's usually when they end up in my office because they're so traumatized. This is what we call love trauma. And then they go out. The one that they divorced took as much money as they could, moved on, and find their next victim. So that is very rampant in South Florida. My Florida people here, please be very, very careful. This happened to Alicia. She was referred to me by a friend that knew that I handled love trauma. And after she saw me, I saw what was going on because I am over 24 years of doing this. I can see the signs immediately. She says, I wanted to update you on my life and what's happened. My partner finally moved out. I filed a protective order, which I asked her to do for her and her 6-year-old son because things started to get violent, just as you said they would. After the latest big incident, I saw I was dealing with an unstable, suicidal, irrational, and delusional person that I had to leave. You were so right. So many more things started to be exposed, and everything on your sociopathic checklist that I gave her was him. I was so glad I got this information from you. It has changed my son's and my life. As you suggested, I looked further and found a secret life. I found other escort services, multiple women he was emailing, the use of drugs, and much more. I feel like the word fraud that you used couldn't have been a better word. My clients, though, I'm really direct. I don't hold it back. If I see it, I'm going to tell you it right away. And I really feel it's a calling for me that I can see this, I feel it, and I will, do everything I can to protect the person in front of me. I've been living with an imposter since the day we met. I just wanted to send you a billion thank yous. You're an angel sent from above. I can't explain the feeling of the biggest weight being lifted off my chest now that he's gone. Keep doing what you're doing. You and your coaching programs have saved my life. So that's why I do what I do. Okay, let's take a breath because all of this is pretty creepy, right? The latest research that I did when I'm writing this show. So, this is this week's research on dating violence. A significant study found that 14% of rapes committed by acquaintances occurred during an initial meetup arranged through a dating app, with attacks being more violent for victims who met their assailants through a dating app. Number two, the victims with mental illnesses, which I would call past love trauma, but they define as anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, getting easily triggered, overly emotional, or just being vulnerable. These people were particularly targeted, with predators using these platforms to find easy manipulator and vulnerable people. Among victims of acquaintance rape, 60% were assaulted during the first meeting. 40% of victims disclosed having mental illness or being on psychotropic drugs or having past love relationship trauma, not related to the dating apps. So they might have had a traumatic marriage. Now they're out dating. What happens? So here's where the cycle repeats unless we get the help that we need. The attacks facilitated through dating apps were found to be more violent with a higher incidence of strangulation and more severe injuries reported compared to other forms of acquaintance rape. About 33% of the victims reported being strangled during the assault, highlighting the increased danger of these encounters. So the solution, again, is know who you are dating. One of my dating rules is after the first date, you like that person, you look them up online. Are they on LinkedIn? Do they have a Facebook? Do a background check. There's a lot of different places you can do the background check. See if what they say about themselves matches. But you can't be so totally trusting that you don't do that. Again, my rules are strict, but that's why my clients follow them so that they are safe and they do find then the emotionally healthy person who says they are who they are. I love this research. This was a riot to me. How long does it take to find a partner online? Finding a great partner using a dating app can in terms of time, largely depending on individual uses patterns and what they're looking for in a relationship. But according to this study conducted by Shane and Company, on average, it takes about 3,960 swipes, who counts, and 8 months and 11 days of app usage to find your partner. I'm like, 8 months? That's ridiculous. Then I'm meeting people who say, oh, yeah, I've been online 4 years. I'm like, and you haven't met anyone? Okay, I'm glad you're in my coaching right now because this is not going to take you 8 months. I told my really good buddy James, I'm going to go out, I'm going to start dating. And says, time I find a partner, I'm going to be 66 years old. And he laughs and he goes, really, Rihanna, just like that? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to find my partner. I'm ready. I was buying a big new construction that I had to monitor in Austin, Texas. That took a lot of my time. So once all of that was settled, I'm like, now's the time. I have the room and the space for a fabulous person in my life. So by August 17th, that's when we met. And we've been exclusive now 6 months. So it shouldn't take friggin' forever. All right. It's what your profile is, what your pictures are, who you're picking out, how you communicate, the initial phone call. Some people spend an hour and a half on the first phone call. Why? The rule 15, 20 minutes max. Okay. And then you must know their last name before even having a phone call. I always say, look, anyone can look me up online. My last name is Milne, and what's yours? And if they don't tell me, well, what do you need to know that for? If they're defensive, then it's like, nope, move on. Because someone who can't tell me a last name and they want to talk to me and know more information, no, thank you. I want to know who you are before I talk to you. So we have to be very protective. Each platform has its own unique user base, of course, and success rates. I pick out what platforms my people should be on based on their desires and their type. Yes, I will pick out the dating site to increase your successes. If you have the skills, it's a whole lot faster, easier, and more fun. It's essential to approach online dating with skill. That includes a clear understanding of your goals and preferences, which significantly impacts how long it takes you to find a wonderful partner that meets your expectations. And additionally, the increasing reliance on dating apps, like everybody's on a dating app for serious relationship, also shows the importance of safety and mindfulness in navigating which people you're meeting. Let's beat the odds and have the dating skills. The more confident and educated that you are, the more the perpetrators will see you're not a good victim, and they will likely move on once you shut them down hard and fast. You must be confident and empowered to handle these types of people. Please, not vulnerable, because these people exist everywhere. When your childhood trauma is healed, you're not dating from a place of weakness or a strong need to be loved or please another. And that's what a lot of people do. They're like, please choose me, choose me. Well, we're the choosers. We don't need someone, we desire someone. It's a whole different psychological approach. You now know these scams that are out there and they are on the rise. It's important that you have the intensive exact skills needed to be successful in dating on and offline and not fear it. Predators look for insecurity, neediness, a lack of confidence, successful in business but are lonely and craving love. They will often go after a shyer, older, wealthy, isolated person. Okay, so the tip is never have a long distance relationship. Ready for real success strategies in my research. With my empowered conscious dating system, dating is much safer. Again, you know what to do and what not to do. The fear, frustration, depression, and anxiety about dating are gone, making it more fun, empowering, and rewarding. You'll have a ton of positive experiences with dating. You're going to meet a ton of friends. Many people that weren't my partner ended up being my buddies and friends for life that I've had over, oh my gosh, 40 years, some of them. You will then be the chooser of the partner you enjoy the most without wasting any time and much faster than those who don't know it. You will have a one and done date. You'll know when that is, and you'll know exactly why you would move on to date two, three after doing your background checks. But I hope you understand this one big thing that you definitely can attract an emotionally healthy partner. And you may be wondering, how can you achieve this type of confidence in dating? Well, first, you can do what you've always done, but you're going to get what you've always got. So you have to change something up. You have to do something different. Or two, you allow me to coach you on exactly how to find love in a faster, more precise way that's more enjoyable, empowering, and based on research, leading you to have quality dates and loving relationships. And if you had that, how would you feel? And what would you do with that ideal, emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love relationship? I can tell you when Chris and I are out from West Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale, and I see all my single buddies are like, oh my God, we love you too. Like we just exude such energy and happiness. And, we've been together 6 months. We never fight. He's my best buddy. We have a ton of fun. We've been on cruises. He never cruised before. We're out for Halloween. He says, I haven't been in a Halloween costume since I was 12. I'm like, well, welcome to my world. We're going to have fun. And we do. People just love to see couples having fun. I mean, strangers stop us and start talking to us. So it makes you just feel so happy. And I want that for you too. So let me explain to you briefly how you can get that with Success in Dating program for singles. Now, Lisa came to me. She was 50. She wanted to lose weight. She had a horrible marriage and an even worse divorce. So she was petrified to go out and date again. After she graduated and moved on to dating, she says, 18 months ago, I was struggling, lost, and helpless. Rihanna's supportive coaching techniques led me to find myself, to make positive lifestyle changes after a difficult time in my life following a divorce. Because of her incredible insights into life issues and her ability to express direction in her books, workbook, and coaching program, I gained the strength I needed to move forward, get back out there to date, and feel amazing. Today, I'm stronger, happier, and love myself more than I ever have. I would highly recommend her coaching program. I'm now in a wonderful, emotionally healthy, involved relationship and knew exactly what to do to attract this type of love into my life. Thanks and love, Lisa. And they are now together 15 years. So the results are time tested with many, many of my clients. This is for, again, ages 16 through 79, straight LGBTQ. It doesn't matter to me. All the rules are the same. Healing childhood trauma is the same for a man and a woman. Love trauma is the same. I work with all people of all backgrounds, all cultures. Cultural situations are also very much examined by me and understood. It's also important for me to be able to relate to my clients in that way. Let's do this together. You'll have success in dating when you decide you really want love in your life. You make that conscious choice. I am ready. Are you single and ready for a love relationship? If you're in a committed relationship or marriage, does your partner have any red flags you should be concerned about? Do you think they or you have childhood trauma? Just go to rianamilne.com and do the free love test. For a limited time, you can also get an introductory offer on a life and love transformation discovery session and assessment to address your results and current concerns. We'll get to the bottom of what's keeping you stuck in life, love, or business. Learn how to move forward to reach your dreams. Get your free love test and life and love discovery session at rianamilne.com. That's rianamilne.com. I look forward to meeting you and seeing how I can help you best. And you get educated, because if you're out there kind of halfway dating, you're not going to find it. It is the energy in you that say, I'm ready to find my partner. You'll awake to the awareness of what has been holding you back from attracting that great partner and how to avoid the toxic, manipulative partners. T, you take time to heal from past childhood or love trauma and transform with a mindset for success, philosophy, and skills. You infuse yourself with trauma recovery and dating skills that make you positive, calm, confident, proactive, happy, and feel terrific. And then you never settle. You know what to do and what not to do when it comes to partner selection. You are going to be the chooser and you do not settle. That's what one of your gifts is tonight about. We do not settle. We'd rather be single than settle. So I want you to have that article. And then the last one is get the exact dating and relationship skills you need to attract and keep that emotionally healthy love. To get this, to learn the exact art and psychology of dating successfully and avoid the narcissistic sociopathic dates that lead to love trauma, learn powerfully to attract the love you desire and deserve. This course that I'm giving you tonight at a very special rate is called Success in Dating. And it's so effective, it has led to many engagements and marriages. And that always makes me so happy when I see on my Facebook pages and my clients email me, hey, I'm engaged. I'm like, yes, let's do a podcast. It's really exciting. So you can learn these skills too. Anyone can learn them. They're very direct, specific. I am a very direct teacher. You can easily spot the sociopath, the narcissist, the emotional manipulators with this education immediately before you are roped in and get involved. And this clears the path then for only attracting the emotionally healthy, conscious, loving partner. Research shows that those who fall in love with chemistry are the ones that get into most of the toxic relationships. You're going to learn why you don't go for chemistry within this course. You'll get all the tools you need if you want to make a good choice on the one decision that has the biggest impact on your life, who you choose to date, start a life or family with, and who you choose to be exclusive with. Like I said, I learned that the hard way at age 24. I actually married young. Back in our day, it was you marry your college sweetheart. I was 21. What did I know at 21 years old? I certainly didn't know about childhood trauma. I was with someone that love bombed me. I thought that was great. Why? Because my childhood trauma was not healed. And he ended up ripping off my family $200,000. And told my mom, I promise I will pay you back. It's going to take me a very long time. I took on 5 jobs and it took me 16 years to pay her off. But, I always say your success is your best revenge. And I have a very happy life. I have traveled around the world. I have a fabulous partner. Love trauma happens to many of us, but I don't want you to stay stuck in victimhood. I don't want you to feel like you're not good enough or you can't get this because you can. Love trauma is being brokenhearted by these people that are users, and it's more common than ever. And I was 21, like that was a long time ago when people were basically honest. I must have gotten the 1 in 150 person that was a sociopath back then. But the studies show today, like more than 1 in 5 single people is a sociopath, and that's pretty scary. Are you willing to gamble your happiness on your inability to identify these types of people and not know what to do? That's why after the second one, I'm like, that's it. I am doing the research myself and I need to heal and find out what the hell is going on. And this program works great for men too. A lot of people think I only work with women, but my men who have struggled in love, they're really hurting just as well. And my heart goes out to them. And I love my guys once they learn this system because there they are going out there as emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious guy. I'm like, oh my God, the women are going to love you now that you know this stuff. Mark was one of those clients. He had just come to the end of a 3-year relationship. He was trying to hang in there. He was overcome with feelings of misery and loss. He reached out to me for help. By closely following the Watch Me Mindset and Success in Dating program, I began to realize that I had allowed myself to remain in a toxic relationship for far too long. And that's what we call settling. My ex had slowly eroded my self-esteem, my confidence, and clouded my ability to see my value as a partner and even as a person. So he was being gaslighted to feel like he wasn't good enough. By setting goals and taking meaningful steps to achieve those goals each day, week, and month, I was able to rebuild my self esteem and distance myself from the painful breakup. My eyes were open to the new possibilities that awaited me. After learning the skills I needed for dating to find an emotionally healthy partner, I did find new love with a woman who was beautiful, charming, witty, and kind. My life has taken a 180-degree turn in just a few short months. I would recommend Riana's coaching program for anyone. It changes your life. I promise you won't be disappointed with the results. And he is now happily married And I actually officiated his wedding. He flew me up from Florida. He goes, Rihanna, I couldn't imagine anyone being the officiant but you. You changed my life. And we were all in tears at the altar. It was such a beautiful ceremony. I was so honored he flew me back. I have married many of my graduates, especially in New Jersey. It's just such a beautiful end result when you're part of the marriage ceremony. For those of you that don't know, I'm also Reverend Rihanna. Yeah, it's really quite beautiful. So, introducing to you the Success in Dating course. This is the one that is changing so many lives and empowering so many people to find the love they really do desire. I'll briefly explain this to you. There's 5 educational models online. They include videos, audios, and study guide. Module 1 is tips for finding love right now. People want to know, like, what can I do right now? I get to the point, I want you to do this, 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 and this, and how to be more successful in dating. It's a lot of the psychology. Why do 9 out of 10 people struggle with dating? You get a little bit of the childhood trauma piece. If you went through this, you could be doing this. So you're understanding now the psychology and the emotional influence of dating, the connection between the unhealed childhood or love trauma and dating success. And again, 100% of us, according to research in 2021, have some sort of unhealed trauma. So we have to get to the root of what that is. And after each module, there's an email check-in with me. There's a study guide. So you do the study guide, you email it to me, and then you have a chance to ask me your questions. Hey, Rihanna, this came up. How do I handle that? So we are in touch as you're going through the program through email. And you get a bonus handout for doing the study guide, which actually ends up being your mini booklet when you're done. So you just watch that as you're watching the video and you fill in the blanks. Now you have your study guide that you can go back to, and you get bonus handouts after every module. Module 2 is tips for success in online dating. This is all the online dating stuff, 5 things to improve your success right now with online dating, handling the emotional frustration, being upset or angry, tips to be more confident and successful, how to choose your online platforms, must-do tips on having fabulous photos. It's really important, again, for women especially. And men, please don't be kissing your dog, because I don't want to kiss those lips if you're kissing a dog. Please don't hold up a dead fish. We're not impressed. We want to know everything else. We don't want to know that you do 10 sports. Tell us what else you do. What is your career? Do you have kids? What's your philosophy on life? It's really important that you write the right profile and safety tips you must know before dating in more detail than what you have tonight. And tonight there is free coaching for you after this module. Then I want to edit your dating profile. I want to look at your pictures, going to pick the pictures and in what order. You're going to write up a basic profile. I'm going to edit it for you. And we're going to make sure that profile is right. I'm thinking in my head right now of Leah. She hated online dating. She goes, oh my God, I'm meeting all these scammers and ghosters and they just want sex. I don't want to date. And I'm like, Leah, I'm going to rewrite this profile for you. I'm going to pick your pictures. You're going to go out there. You're going to trust the process. So she is now engaged. By now, she might be married or very soon. She's got engaged over a year ago to a great man from a very nice family. And she met him online with her new profile. So she did a podcast with me. You want to check her out. Grad Leah, Lia. Okay, module 3, how to flirt with confidence. Who makes the first move and why? What are some nonverbal flirting techniques? Understanding the signals. How much to discuss and disclose about yourself in the past? Do you tell them about your trauma, your last boyfriend, your husband, what happened? Communication skills to build a connection. What's the next step after flirting is over? Who makes the next move? The facts on initial impressions mean everything. What to do differently to get better and successful results, learning the aura and the art of attraction. And then email me again and you get your bonus handout, 8 beliefs that keep you from love. And there are some things that people have these certain expectations. You know, no one's going to be 100% perfect, but you're also not going to settle. The other things can be changed. Well, what can be changed and what can't be changed? And are they willing to learn something new? If I were to date someone that loves snow skiing, I don't like snow skiing. I'd say, I'll go along, I'll write a book by the fire. You guys go ski. I'm cool with that. but I do not want to live in a snowy environment. I love Florida. We know what we want and we're not going to deviate. You have like your roadmap of what you're looking for. Avoiding the dating traps. We went into some of the dangerous guys and ladies out there, but these are called dating traps. There's the scarcity trap, and that's connected to your mindset and how worthy you feel about yourself. Understanding the danger of packaging trap. That's chemistry and only leading with that. I'm also giving you with this program tonight a free life and love transformation discovery session, which is a 2 hour assessment that I will see, just like I did with the other young lady, what is going on in your life and what you're falling for and why. And I pattern that with your childhood upbringing. And then I know exactly what's going on. I'm like, this is the trap you're falling into. This is what we have to do. And then we know the direction that you're going on when you enter into the course. There's codependent trap and why you get sucked into that. Virtual reality, you're only focusing on one's potential and not who they really are today. And you have to learn to open your mind to trust, yet have full conscious awareness in these skills that lead to relationship success. You email me when you're done that one. There's another bonus handout. The 36 red flags of toxic traits that you need to avoid when choosing a partner. So as you're dating, you're referencing this sheet. Are you seeing any of these behaviors? Okay. So that's why people say, oh, dating, it's easy. You just go out and date. No, you don't. All this must be considered. It's so true. Spotting and handling the dangerous dating disasters if they should happen to you. And this is part 5. The 8 dangerous dating partners. And we covered that tonight, just the definitions. But now I'm going to go into exactly what to do if you're manipulated by someone doing this particular thing. There's ghosting, there's snowballing. I didn't even cover that one tonight. What if you've been breadcrumb, gaslighting dangers and warning signs, the dine and dash, how to avoid this person, catfishing, and the flying monkeys, which are the worst of all, and what love bombing can lead to, and more. Then you have another email check-in with me, more details and a summary of these dating disasters. That's quite a big handout that you get as your bonus when you turn in your study guide. And I'm not grading your study guide. Just fill it out as you go along. These are yours to keep. These are your booklets to keep. I just want to see, did you fill them in? Yep. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? How you feeling? Are you out there dating? What's happening for you? So we touch base and I make sure that you're doing okay. And we go on from there. Now, when you're done part 5 and you officially graduated, you finished the program, then I include another 1 hour of coaching with this to see how your dates are going, see what questions you have on the course that have come up again. How are your dates going? What are you seeing? What are you not seeing? And by then, people are really on a great roll. We discuss the guys they're dating, what they like, what they don't like, and then I will give my opinion. And they usually are really well on their way. This program is perfect for singles who are younger and looking for an exclusive relationship leading to marriage and having a family. That's super important that they pick the right person because, like me, it cost me 16 years of incredible work and sacrifice to do the right thing by my mom. Feeling shy or vulnerable or afraid to date, you don't want to attract any toxic or abusive partners. If you've had that in your past, this is perfect for you. If you are a successful business professional and you don't want any costly dating disasters like mine, financial scams or frauds or sociopaths like the financial scam of the business guy I met last week and the current client I have, soon to retire, and you want a great partner to share life with and the joys of retirement, or you're newly out of a divorce or you're in that divorce process or a toxic relationship and you want to date smarter this time around. You want to make sure there's no more costly mistakes. You're going to learn to date in a whole different way and learn this whole new approach, being successful in dating and relationships, learning the psychological, spiritual, and emotional component to dating successfully to attract your emotionally healthy partner. And you'll get the crucial dating skills that no one has taught you. Here is the link to enroll, but I want to go over everything else that's included. It's called Success in Dating Course. Love Beyond Your Dreams, Live Beyond Your Dreams are included. The study guides are included. The check-ins where we talk about love and how you're doing each time after each module. If you pay for this in full, and it's very reasonable, you get the $5,000 brand new resource library that I put online. This is all my books that I've written, my ebooks, my book on anxiety, the book on how to have happiness, everything that I have written, that I've created in my coaching career is in the resource library. And you will now get that for free as a Valentine love special for me. This is usually for only my VIP coaching clients that sign up for Dating to Mating or Relationship Rescue. That's the program for couples. But now it is available for you all under Success in Dating if you sign up this evening. The value of everything that you're getting. You get the online program that's worth $2,997. You get 2 bonus coaching session hours midway through to design your online profile, and your grad session at the end to go through final questions. You get your 2-hour life and love transformation session before you start the course, so we know exactly what's going on, what your love history and dating history has been, so I can guide you. And then the new 35-item online resource library, and I am adding to it all the time, and that is worth $5,000. So the total value of this course is $10,991. And tonight, the Valentine's Love Special, because I love you guys and I want you to be safe, is only $497. That's it. It's such a deal, and it's so amazing, this program. And at the investment, by the way, this is an investment because of all my certifications and licensing. Any coaching you buy from me is completely tax deductible. This is a course that's tax deductible. You write it off, so it's technically free. Now, those of you that feel, I absolutely want this, Riana, I need a payment plan, I will do that with you to pay $275 tonight on a credit card, and then I would auto bill it the following month, first month and second month. But those who pay in full get the online library resource. You can do Zelle, Venmo, credit card. It's pretty easy, and it's an incredible special. So the benefits of this program are many. Here's just a few. You're going to increase your confidence in self and dating, learn the exact skills to date with success, understand impacts of your past unconscious childhood, family, or love trauma, heal and thrive from difficult transitions with a positive mindset for success, stop negative dating and behavioral patterns, be clear on your needs, wants, desires, and requirements for your partner. Use the art and psychology of dating successfully, along with the law of attraction and many other tools to ensure your success in love, and learn conscious and empowered dating and not being vulnerable to find love, but being empowered. And how much would this be worth to you to achieve it all and have that amazing love of your life? And this is what it costs you if you do nothing and keep dating the way that you know. You're wasting more time, and the clock is ticking. I always say we're getting older. You're going to have more aggravation of not finding the one, which leads to more frustration with those that you do meet who don't fit your criteria, the loneliness, the low trust, more bad dates with toxic people, fear of not marrying or having the kids you desire if you're younger, lower self-esteem and confidence because every bad partner whittles away at confidence, living in fear about dating wrong, unhealed trauma for your kids if you end up with this partner. My kids had to do a lot of trauma recovery after the first partner. Marrying a partner who's not good for you or your kids, the financial hardship or ruin, and more anxiety, stress, and depression. You're worth this investment, and it's so, so reasonable. And you have a lot of my time and attention all the way through. You're not going to be alone. Success in dating is not for someone looking for just common dating advice like you can get from any book, but it's for those really serious wanting to learn the research-based dating skills at work, someone who will not open their mind to learning a new way of being. I'm going to be very directive. If you can follow my rules, that's all I ask you. Follow the research, follow what works, instead of insisting on doing it your way. Then you cannot expect new results if you don't do it what the research says to do. If you refuse to do the study guides that are in the program that summarize all the facts for you, which is a great resource as you continue to date, you keep going back to them, you'll see. That's why I give the bonus. You give me the study guides, now you're in touch with me. That's your reward. And then I give you another bonus handout. This is your mini notebook. Or if you refuse to do the program in order, because one section builds upon another, they must be dedicated to completing the entire program, the module step by step. And it's not a fluff course. None of my programs are. It's always based in education that works because it is my reputation on the line. I love what I do. My people, my graduates love me. And that's the same with this program because it really works. Natasha did this because she wanted the right partner next time. She said she was 44 when she came through. She's from Australia. She said the Success in Dating course has given me the skills, education, and confidence I needed to get back out into the dating scene. Having recently ended my 25-year marriage in a short-lived, painful, and toxic relationship, I was feeling apprehensive about dating, being scared of getting hurt and taking for granted again. The SID Success in Dating course has given me the insight into how my past childhood and love traumas have affected my romantic relationships, the tools to build my confidence, and the ability to identify toxic partners before I invest further in a relationship. Plus, I now know how to handle potentially dating dangerous situations, especially online. I'm well prepared using the Mindset for Success skills. I need to meet a man who's right for me and have the healthy romantic relationship I dream of. If you're thinking of doing this or the Dating to Mating course, don't hesitate. It's worth every cent. Riana is not only an expert in this area, but she also speaks from her own experience, which is also so inspiring. She empowers you and makes you feel you've got this. Much love, Natasha. It's for those who want the dream of being in love and having a fabulous relationship, traveling the world with your best friend and your romantic partner. It is time for you to have that emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship and to get all your bonuses. I hope you take advantage of this Valentine love special from me to you, giving you tons of value. The Success in Dating online programs normally $2,997. Two bonus coaching hours with me midway and at graduation, which is worth $2,000. 2-hour life and love transformation session before you start your course. That's a $997 value because we're doing a full assessment, plus the brand new resource library that was never available to those in SID before, and that is worth $5,000. Again, the total value, $10,997. Tonight, only $497, or to pay of $275. And if you want that auto bill, you just have to email me at rianamilne@gmail.com, and I'll set that up with you privately because I'm just doing that again for you tonight. But if you do pay in full, you get the resource library. So I think that's an excellent value for you guys. And I am now going to make myself live and come on the screen and see you all. This is the time now that I would love to answer your question. Maybe you can start writing them in the chat. I did have someone write me, one of my ladies from my email family, and she is 52, and I'm not going to say the name. And she wrote in 3 questions. Chris, honey, you are on the hot seat for these questions, if you don't mind, because we said that you would be here to answer the questions from a man's point of view. So
before you start, though, you have a question in the chat from Barbara asking your definition around what is long distance. You said no long distance relationship.
Okay, thank you for pointing that out to me. Hi, Barb. I like within 40 minutes. You have to make it convenient enough that you're seeing each other a lot. You don't want to feel like, oh, I got to drive an hour. My definition of long distance is anything beyond 45 minutes or what you're willing to drive. I know a lot of my people live way out in the country, so an hour is just like nothing to them. If that's your case, certainly an hour is okay. But anything more than that, where they're away in another town, you don't know what they're doing, certainly no one across seas, certainly no one that says, yeah, I live there in Palm Beach, but I just happened to be out of the country for a couple months, so let's just talk and get to know each other. Oh, that was a good scam. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry. No, thank you. Good luck. Boom. Fun. You're going to hear a lot of this. I'm going to go into some questions that could help other people in the class. Here's the first one from the email that came in. And Chris, before you answer, could you just open your mic and just give a little bio on yourself, if you would mind?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chris. I'm 62, live in South Florida, within 40 minutes of Rihanna. Luckily enough for that. I'm in software technology. I'm a chief product officer. We develop and sell software to major corporations all around the world.
Okay, great. So are you up for a few questions?
Sure.
Okay, here's the first one. And this is again a woman 52. What was different about Rihanna when you started dating her compared to other women that you dated before her?
When we first met, we agreed to meet for 30 minutes, and we ended up staying for 6 hours and closed down 2 different restaurants. So it was quite the experience. And by the way, I made sure that she chose the location we met. I wanted her to feel safe. Let's pick a spot that she knows so she feels comfortable. She came across the parking lot and I took one look at her and it's like, okay, all the pictures are honest.
5 second rule.
Right? The pictures were honest. They were real, they were recent, and they were representative, right? So there's quite an array of pictures. And the profile is very detailed. It's like, this is who I am, this is what I'm seeking, a little bit of background, stuff like that. So to me, it wasn't all the exploration things like, what do you do? What do you like? You know, it was, in my mind, is a trust, more about verification. Is this real? Is this accurate? And it was just unlike any experience I'd had before. And the vibe was very positive. She's very upbeat and lots of energy and the things that she talked about earlier. But the other thing that I was watching was, I read her biography before, and, she's got quite a following around the world. But what's she like with normal people? And somebody came by and wiped up a little spill of the counter right next to where we were sitting. And she turned and said, thank you. How are you doing? And just engaged in a little nice small chat, right? So people are not above, people are not below, people are people. And she's very respectful to that. To me, that's important, right? Very smart, not pretentious, mature, knows what she likes, knows what she doesn't like, but she already threw the phrase out. She's a Philly girl, so it's just real direct. But it's actually good to know where people stand instead of beating around the bush. Probably a little bit more detail than what you're looking for, Rihanna, but
That's perfect. Thank you. She has a second question here.
oh God.
My people follow me online, babe. They know your whole story. Okay. I read that you and Rihanna met online on
Yeah.
Match.com. Rihanna said in one of the emails. What is it about her profile that made you want to meet her?
As I said a moment ago, and I could go a lot longer on this topic as well, but I had some dates and had really not much interest in dating. I decided that, let's give it a shot. So I signed up for Match because I was on Match 10 years ago for a short while. And Rihanna was the first person that popped up on my screen. When you come in, you get the list, and there's the first one. First one, I looked at the pictures. The first one I clicked like on. The first one I read the profile on. And I read the profile at least 9 times before our first exchange of messages. It was well written. It was clear. It was concise. It wasn't, going on and on and on forever. But just, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is what I've experienced. This is what I'm seeking. And there was just a ton of clarity. And I'm back to, I knew what I want. It was a statement of what she wanted and who she was, which lined up very well with what I was seeking. Then I was just into validation mode. I didn't have to go through all the exploratory stuff. So I think that was really a big piece of it. We did a couple message exchanges, like, 3 or 4 messages and responses. And half of that was around setting up a time and location for a conversation, which we had a phone call and we decided, hey, you want to go meet? But in the process of doing that, I guess I got lucky a little bit, but I sent my LinkedIn profile. So is this real or is this BS? And especially in the first few weeks of going out, and I think like an engineer, because I'm an engineer, I kept showing little bits of data and evidence. Here's my LinkedIn profile with all my 5,000 connections on there. I could say this about this topic, but actually here, let me show you some evidence about it. And just building up that trust, because trust is incredibly important. So,
Yeah, great answer. And then her third one was after dating Rihanna for a while, what is different about her now that you have some history over other women you dated? Could you tell she had a certain type of dating skills that other women didn't?
oh yeah, well, again, you're just real, right? And you can tell after a while, but it takes weeks and months to find out because it's easy for people to put on an act for a while. And a degree of consistency is incredibly important. But you're very consistent in your views, that you're open-minded to listening to alternatives on most topics, but you're just very consistent. And that consistency is part of what I need as a person. Right.
Okay.
But I've also made some what I would call sacrifices. I found out very early on that you love to dance. Well, I'm not that much of a dancer. So one of the cool things was you took the time to help me find a dance school, and I took some dance lessons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a give and take, and it's a trade-off, but it's mutually beneficial, but it's also fun and engaging and lighthearted, yet serious. So
it's like a partnership. You have a partnership.
Yeah.
And then Chris came and met all my single crazy friends from the singles cruise that I took last year, and they all loved him. And I said to them, how many men have I brought around to meet you guys? The Sexy Men from the Ship. I hope some of you saw that podcast. It's a 3-part podcast. Well, now they're like all Chris's best friends. Like he loves them too. So
great.
it's really nice when you can merge your friendship groups and then get to know more people. It's a really wonderful experience when you do choose the right person.
Well, that was a bit intimidating. That's like a real power move that you pulled there. It's like it
They're
wasn't
my
intended that
buddies.
way, but there's these people, these 5 different friends, and they all love and adore her and have her back as friends.
Yeah,
And the acid test was, it's the male check on Chris. The female check was working out okay. I met some of her other friends. Let's do the male check, and the males are like, "Cool, come on in."
Yeah.
And I think that certainly helped my comfort level, and I'm sure it helped Rihanna's comfort level as well.
And then early on, I was doing the hosting for the transformation vacation. If you're all interested in that, my site is called Romance International Travel. I have a Facebook page with the same name. So he goes, if you need help, I'll come. I said, are you sure it's a working weekend? And our people just said, we love the Chris and Rihanna show. And we were pretty new. So we worked in a partnership in a work capacity as well. And that worked out really, really well and gave us new kind of bonding. Like I can count on him. And wow, he's helping someone that's in trouble while I'm coaching someone else. So that was really cool too.
Yeah,
So
well, you first suggested it week 3, or we came up with the idea maybe week 3, and then I think the trip was week 5 or week 6. Yeah.
so feel free to
So
turn
I
on
do
your
have a point though. You have your time frame rules.
Yeah.
And I do want to point out that was kind of an accelerated timeline for what we did, but I think it's because it was more in my mind anyways, more because I was verifying things. We went on quite a few dates very early on. And they weren't like go out and play putt-putt. They were mostly conversational based and really getting to know each other. Elapsed time was one thing, but the intensity, the depth, and the richness of conversation really moved things forward quickly in my mind.
Yeah. You learned a lot about me. I was able to learn about you. In their course, there are definite questions you should be asking in date 1, then date 2, and date 3. Because you really don't want to waste time. I'm a busy lady. He's a busy guy. A lot of people just go on a date and have drinks and don't think anything. Like their mind is not conscious about anything about what they should be doing on their dates. Well, I go to a date knowing exactly what I want to ask and see how they respond and trying to see how was it when he grew up and what was his parents like and does he have siblings and how are they? And here's my siblings. We talked about important things every time we were together. It wasn't just let's hang out.
Yeah. And one more point, and I'll be quiet for a little bit. So I have read one of her books twice, and I'm 90% the way through the second book. And a lot of people say that you're supposed to ask all these questions. She actually did. See, she's asked every one of them. And
I do what I teach.
She's asked 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So she walks the walk, she walks the talk as well.
Yeah. I definitely do what I teach.
Yeah.
I hope that helps spur some more questions. This is from Marlene. I get what you said about long distance. What if you live somewhere temporarily and intend to move, but still have to figure out where to? So am I right not to date? Should I wait? Marlene, I would love to know, like, what is your time period for you? Like, we have to really be definite in what your plan was. I had a plan when I was in New Jersey. I definitely was going to retire to Florida. I had to get a state license, so that took a process. But in the meanwhile, I was dating, but I was telling people, but I am moving to Florida. And I had a couple guys say, no, you won't. You won't move when you fall in love with me. I'm like, I am moving to Florida. We can hang out. We can have a date. But I put him in friend zone. And I'm very good about putting people in friend zone if they're just a friend. Because my intention was I am moving because I love it here. Like I grew up doing family vacations in Key West. So Florida was like my love. And I knew I wanted to be here. You just be honest and real. Like I am looking to move. I'm looking at a couple spots, maybe to retire. We can date, but I'm not planning to stay here, period. Reminds me of one of my grads recently, Carrie, who was like up in the mountains of Pennsylvania. She hated it. I'm like, well, where do you want to be? So we picked the place, we picked the time frame, we picked when she was going to give in her resignation and all of that. She was an executive. Once you graduate, you can be on my Facebook page. So she has an incredible boyfriend. She has a brand new yoga studio. She's doing the life she desired. And that's what we designed in Dating to Mating. Dating to Mating is longer and more intensive. We look at everything in your life. Success in dating is just the dating process and making sure you're successful in that. But a lot of people want some business guidance, life guidance, moving on guidance. If you have questions about either program, you want to talk to me personally, again, put my email in the chat here, Riana Milne at gmail. And because you're in class tonight, if you write me and you want to do DTM, Dating to Mating, you will get 10% off your program. I just mentioned that, and I would be glad to do that for you. Any other questions? Anyone have any difficult dates recently that I can give you some advice on, or you're questioning, is this a good person or not? Not sure if you're seeing some red flags. Sharon, keep it to the point, girl.
Okay. Now, I told you about the one, and he was long distance, but he did come to meet me, and he went back to Israel, and that was it. Okay, so
You wasted a lot of time.
well, yes and no. I mean,
And I still think he was a scam artist because he was much younger than you. And he's from out of the country.
no,
So
he was not a scam artist. He was a nice guy.
it take a while sometimes to show their true colors. You don't know.
He stayed in my back bedroom. Okay, we were not sleeping together. If
It's not always sex they go for. It's more money. And he
no,
might have come to check out your apartment and see what you have.
no, but he wasn't like that. Okay, he
Did he
doesn't.
disappear after the visit?
No, I called him my boyfriend, but we weren't doing anything. I guess it breaks your rules about the long distance or overseas.
Sharon, you always break my rules. So until you're ready to follow the rules, you're not a candidate for class. You're always welcome to my free classes, but if you're insistent on doing what you want to do, so that's why you're still single and not dating. All
Well,
right.
no. If there was somebody local, I would be really happy to see them, but there wasn't anybody.
Well, I don't know what your dating profile is. I don't know what your pictures are, so I can't give you advice on that. Okay. All right. Stacy asked, which program do you recommend for people who are recently divorced just under 2 years after 32 years of marriage? Thank you for your question, Stacy. To me, 2 years is a long time. There's no reason to sit out on the sidelines and wait to be happy and to start dating again. I would suggest people to get some, if it was traumatic, definitely love trauma recovery, some healing there first. And then definitely, if I knew what was going on during the marriage and the divorce, I would want to know that so I could guide you better. But definitely 2 years is a long time. You can be out there dating, but I also want to consider how your kid's doing. And if there's young kids in a relationship, I always say don't introduce your kids till about 6 months in. Just an example, and it's kind of a sad situation, but Chris's mom had passed on, and we were like 2.5 months in, and he goes, "Would you want to come and meet my kids?" I'm like, "This is not the time. I'd love to meet your kids, but not during this serious time. They need you 100% focused on this family situation." So there are rules of when to meet the children, even when we're all adults. My kids met Chris during Christmas time, which was about 6 months, and they loved him, so that was awesome. But it has to be a proper amount of time and the right situation. And that was not the right emotional situation for me to meet his children. I don't know if you have kids, how they're doing since the divorce. I would want to know that. But certainly you can start dating. I just wouldn't bring any dates around until you're certain it's exclusive and you know this is a good person that you want to be exclusive with. I hope that helped. If you want to give me more details, let me know. Marlene, what is the dating to mating you mentioned? Okay, that is what I call my diamond program. People are with me either 4 or 6 months. It's much more intensive in healing the trauma piece. It's two parts. Part one is healing the trauma, setting goals for the life you desire. Like my Carrie, she hated where she was, even though she was making a ton of money as an executive. She goes, I hate my life. I want to change it. I don't know where to start. We do life that, we do business. I help build businesses, mindset, spirituality, life balance, confidence, self-love. That's all part one. Part two is all the dating skills that you need. So it includes the information from SID, Success in Dating. And we also analyze what they had before, what they went wrong. Like, are they codependent? If they are, I need to know that. Are they love addicted? I need to know that. And then I have longer time to really watch their dating. And we meet and we discuss their dates. I just graduated a young lady, very successful in the education system in another state. She's there. I want to do the first part. I don't even want to think about dating. I don't want to date. I'm like, I know, but you will. You will. And we got her so confident. She goes, I'm ready to date now. I said, well, you better be ready to date because I'm asking you for your profile this week, girl. So write it up. Let's edit it. Let me pick your pictures. And she went out. She goes, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I'm not scared. I'm doing exactly what you tell me. I'm meeting great guys. And she goes, I'm so excited. Like, should I choose him? Because I'm the chooser, So she was so empowered and she met some wonderful people. But then we did, discuss the finer things. She has two people she really likes. She had two Valentine's dates, so she chose one. And, she's very confident and really enjoying the journey. So I would say, Stacy, let's get you out there dating for sure. Marlene, if you feel you want some more intensive work around healing the trauma, then the first step for DTM is to do the Life and Love Discovery session, which is on my homepage. Right at the header, meet with Riana. You click on it and it will come up. Or let me just put the link here. Everyone I work with needs to do this assessment. And it's for me to really know how to help you best. It's easy. It's like check marks and yes and no. They're not difficult tests to do, but I spend 2 hours really processing everything. Then we know exactly where to go. The discovery session is included tonight with the SID special, the Valentine special. You can do that, and then we can decide from there if you'd like, and I'll know more of your story. Can you email some specifics this weekend? Absolutely, Stacy, you can. You guys can email me at any time. Just put in the header that I know it's you. Riana was in your class, just because I get like 400 emails a day and I don't want to miss it. If I don't answer you, I might have missed it, or sometimes they just disappear when you're clicking through. So, resend it to me. So I really try and stay on top of it, and I'm very astute to make sure I answer all of your questions. But certainly, Stacy, or what some people do is like they want the special, so they'll roll in SID tonight so they get the free discovery session. And then if you want to move up to dating to mating, we can do that for you after I meet you in the discovery session. So you have that option too. And that way you're not missing out on tonight's specials. So that sounds like a pretty good idea. Again, here in the link, it's a special for tonight, Success in Dating course and everything else that comes with it, that I am giving it to you tonight. So that is a special. And if you enroll, I will give you another copy of everything that you're getting. And we get you into the resource library right away. We get you right into SID right away. And we schedule your discovery session right away. I would contact you tomorrow when you enroll tonight and get you set up for next week to get your discovery session done. It's 2 hours, so we have to find a time that works for you and works for me, but we will find it, and then we'll get you going. If you have some questions on like, should I do dating to mating versus success in dating, we would discuss it then when I have your history. Is there a way to do a split payment through the link above? No, this is a special for tonight. So Melissa, just email me, honey, at rianamilne@gmail. Okay. And I will do it privately for you. I'll do the split pay if that's what you need. Don't worry about that. I'll be glad to do that for you. But I have to do it separately because it's not on the page. So I will do it for you.
Riana, there's a question you might have missed from Barbara.
Thank you.
About religions.
Oh, thanks, Chris, for saying this. Okay. What is your opinion on dating different religions or someone with no religion being with someone who is religious? Okay, I would call myself spiritual, not religious. But to me, having someone faith-based and spiritual was extremely important. I would not settle if I didn't have that. Chris is also faith-based. We've gone to church together. We talk spiritual concepts. We share spiritual writings with each other. That was on my must-have list. So I would not settle, Barbara, because that's important to you. I would try to be very open-minded to the different type of spirituality. But it sounds to me that that's an important part of your life happiness, and people can't fake that. Either they are or they aren't. So I would definitely mention that in your profile. You're looking for someone who is faith-based or spiritual. So yeah, I wouldn't compromise on that one, because faith gets you through hard times. It gets you through difficulties as a couple. You're dedicating your life to making things work together. So to me, spirituality is all a part of that. So I wouldn't compromise that. That's my opinion. Okay. Anyone else have questions? These are great. Keep typing them in. Yeah, Sharon. Yes, you want someone Jewish. So that's good. You definitely should be on JDate. That's a good site for you. Also, I would go after the senior group, like senior dating, our time. Yeah, you don't want to date these young guys. They're going to take advantage of you. That's my dating rule. Sorry. I tell the older men that too. Stop dating 35-year-olds. Not good for you.
Can I add a
Yeah,
comment
Chris.
about dating sites?
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm a product person, as I explained, right? And I think about how do you develop a new product. And if you think of yourself as a product and you put it on Amazon, and it may be the best product in the world, but nobody buys it, you got to go back and think about how you're communicating what it is and what the values are and the benefits and things like that. And the analogy for dating is you need to make sure that you are your best self and you're in the right mental state, and all the things that have held you back in the past have been taken care of. Because going on a dating site is like putting a product on Amazon. It's great for volume. But if you're not aligned with who you really are as a person, you don't have your messaging down, you've got unhealed things, all kinds of volumes, just not going to help, right? This worked out because I was mentally in the right state for dating. I'd spent a lot of time preparing myself for it again. I found the person who was in that right state. And, you go back to the Super Bowl, right? You got amazing quarterbacks. If they threw the ball to a high school football receiver, eventually the quarterback will get frustrated because the ball will get dropped, because they're not the same place, right? Same with a lousy quarterback thrown to a great wide receiver. You need some people who are at the same level of who they are and who they aspire to be.
I'm an executive woman. I wanted an executive man. I wanted a faith-based man. I wanted a man who was a father, a grandfather, someone that was socially confident, because I'm very confident when I'm out. Someone that would travel the world with me. I have my whole set, and I look at it, and Chris is everything. So don't be afraid to make that list and make yourself ready. So when that person shows up, you are ready and they are ready. But we help you be ready. We help you write that profile that will get that person's attention. There's a lot of people that wrote me that I didn't even write back because I don't have the time. I'm not on there every day. I don't have the time to be on those sites every day. So I went in and, I read the profile. I'm not one about the pictures. Again, it's like, who is this person? And then I'm like, oh, he's cute. What's he about? Oh, he's really cute, because I know his personality. See, so personalities don't always come through in pictures, right? And we had a lot in common. That it was really cool. Okay, one last call for questions. I'm sorry we went longer than I thought, but I'm always here for the questions at the end. Certainly, if you have any other questions, do email me, Riana Milne at Gmail. Again, I hope you certainly take advantage of this, because this is an incredible deal for success in dating. You have the link online on this link, and all the other benefits come from me because it's my Valentine's gift from you. So you can see that it's not on the standard page, but don't let that throw you, because you are getting Valentine's stuff tonight. Success in dating course. Okay. And that is the link to enroll. And then when we have your discovery session, which again is free in this Valentine's special, we can talk about dating to mating as well. Because I really want to do the assessment first so I get to know you better. And now we have to do the trivia questions. You have to email me so I can email you the gifts back. So take my email, and here's a trivia question so you get your gifts for attending. 2 questions. Tell me if you've ever been exposed to any of the top 8 that we covered today. That's it. Yes, Rihanna, I did have a ghoster, and this is how I handled it. Just something simple. And second, what do you think is holding you back from love? Finding the one. What is holding you back from finding the one? Maybe things you've tried that didn't work, or the dating site's not working for you, or you only want to date live. Like, let me know that, and then maybe I can help you individually a little bit more. So, what is holding you back from finding the one? Okay. And in what age range could we potentially date? I always dated a little bit older, but as I'm getting older, but keep very active, I notice that men often feel as if they are in retired mode, so to speak. Okay. So, Marlene, will you type in your age for me? And then I can give you a better age range. 63. Perfect. Okay. I always tend to date younger because I have good energy and I love to go out dancing and world travel. I like a guy with a lot of energy. And Chris is younger, so that fit my criteria too. You too, Marlene. Okay. So if you're 63, I would probably look for someone 58 to 67 because there could be some 66 and 67s that are young and fit and good energy. Again, like I always tell my people, do not lie about your age on a dating site. Chris knew I was 65 when I was on there. I turned 66 in September. I don't lie about anything on my website because you never want to start a relationship with a lie. It's really bad. So be real, be authentic, be proud of who you are, show up looking great, show up with great energy, but never lie about your age. And a lot of men have lied too. I showed up once, some guy had 20-year-old pictures in there. I'm like, okay, before we even get started, what's your age? Well, I'm 80, but I look 60. No, you don't. You look 80 and you wasted my time. And I'm going to report you to the dating site. I turn around, I report him to the dating site because my time is very valuable. You know, so it's like, what the hell, dude? No, be real. Like, why would I want to date someone that's a liar? Please, I love your laughs. Please, please be real when you're doing a profile. All my people are real, and they do always lead with truth. Great question, though. I would, try and judge each person individually, but I also usually ask again, and what is your age? And then they tell me. And I knew Chris was a little younger, and he confirmed his age. I'm like, that's cool. Okay.
With a driver's license, by the way.
Did you show it to me?
I
Oh, I
did,
didn't look
yes.
at it. Like, I don't need that. I already saw you on LinkedIn before I met up with you. Check you out. Trust me.
Oh, one other piece I've heard you say to your friends quite a few times: dress for the occasion.
Dress to impress.
Yeah.
Always. Do your hair, do your makeup, nails, look nice. Oh, this is a big question. Oh, it's Sharon's story. Sharon's going on and on about her story. Overseas job. Well, that's one of the things the scammers say. They're at an overseas job. That's true. J Date emailed that they were investigating him. I should cut off contact. Well, I told you that years ago. I didn't listen as he was nice and sweet. Of course they are. They're scammers. Suddenly wanted to mail me a big check he was going to get from an environmental firm. Well, they're asking you to launder money when they do that. So you never take a check. And he didn't want to sit in his mailbox here. Well, okay. I said that was okay, but then he said he wanted to make me his power of attorney. Turns out he wanted me to deposit his check into my account. Of course, he's scamming. He's laundering money. I could have added that one to my list. Money laundering, and then wired to pay for the oil cleanup equipment he needed. Yeah. Okay. So Sharon, you get too many scams. I'm telling you, you better sign up for one of my courses one of these days because you keep getting yourself into trouble. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for attending. You've got the sites, Riana Milne at gmail.com to get your free. And then also the course. Again, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for staying. I love you guys. You make me happy because you're here, because this is so important. And Chris, thank you, honey, for your support tonight. I hope that helped a lot of my ladies tonight, that they got your opinion from a man that I chose to be my guy. And you'll keep hearing from us. We'll be showing up in pictures and stuff on email. And any questions, email me. those responses of the 2 trivia questions. Yes. Why do you think you're struggling in dating? What's not working for you? Number 1. And the other one was, what's the other one?
Yeah, what was the top 8,
the
and then what's
8?
holding you
Yeah.
back?
What are
What's
the
holding you
8
back?
happened to you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you for remembering for me. All right, guys. I love you. Keep in touch with me, and we'll see you again soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
We want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. Your personal journey of life and love transformation has only just begun. Go to rianamilne.com for more resources. And if you're really ready to take action to improve your life or love situation, apply now for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session with Riana, a $500 value. Just contact Riana with your questions and to tell her your story at rianamilne.com. And remember, it's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve.